Hello and welcome back to the Movie Memo Recaps. Today we are going to recap a 2023 movie titled Hostile Forces. Please be advised that there will be spoilers ahead. In the opening scene, we are introduced to Mickey, a retired soldier who is on vacation with his family. He brings his two children, Jack and Jane, to his brother Noah's home in the American wilderness. Tired from his recent military service, Mickey's wife, Sophie, takes the wheel during the trip. They soon arrive at Noah's house in the middle of the forest, intending to enjoy a relaxing vacation. However, it is not a pleasant experience, particularly for Jane. Mickey and Sophie are surprised to find the house in disarray, seemingly intentionally left dirty. Mickey attempts to remain optimistic, believing Noah may have been extremely inebriated. However, a foul odor, likely from the scattered food garbage, greets Jack and Jane as they enter the house. While examining the house, Jane is proud of her father's military background. She discovers that her father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all served in the military, as evidenced by different photos and artifacts in the house. Even Noah, who resides there, is a soldier. This drives Mickey to follow in their footsteps and become a soldier himself. And he's no ordinary soldier, he's a retired Special Forces soldier known and dreaded by 9 major countries. That night, Jane begins complaining to her parents about how much she dislikes the vacation area. Mickey encourages his kids to be grateful, but he learns they wanted beach or mountain vacations. Mickey had recently retired from the military, so he wanted to spend his vacation at Noah's house to honor their family's military heritage. The next day, Mickey goes to see his father and grandfather's graves outside Noah's house. Despite their acknowledged military service, their burial took place without a ceremony. During the day, Mickey plans a unique adventure for their vacation, learning to shoot. He has no idea that someone has been keeping tabs on his family the entire time. Mickey focuses on training Jack while showing care for Sophie. Unfortunately, Jane isn't interested in learning to shoot and is still bitter about her vacation. She walks to her room and expresses her irritation by yelling at her mother, who tries to calm her down. As night falls, Jack finds himself perplexed when the television in the living room refuses to turn on. Mickey figures it out and instructs his children to go to their rooms. To their surprise, the TV is a forgery, and behind it is a safe containing the family's valuables and significant documents dating back to World War II. Mickey's family has buried these goods to ensure their safety. Meanwhile, Jack is amazed when he discovers something under the bed and runs to inform his father. Mickey examines the room and is astounded to see Noah's lifeless body beneath the bed. He immediately advises his family to leave the house. At the same time, a car approaches from the end of the road, forcing them to go inside. Mickey instructs his family to remain hidden inside while they wait for the car to leave. However, by day, the car is still there. Mickey and Sophie stay awake all night, armed. Suddenly, a number of additional vehicles arrive at their home, prompting them to step outside to investigate. To their amazement, there were 12 troops who had previously fought alongside Mickey. They informed Mickey that they had come in pursuit of his family's valuables and inheritance. They gave him some time to locate and deliver these precious goods from the house. After learning about their plans, Mickey and Sophie devised a new strategy to prevent the soldiers from leaving the property. However, Mickey understood the mansion was tightly secured, and attempting to flee would endanger his family. After a while, Mickey noticed a soldier stretching his arm, and he seized the opportunity to lead his family out, holding the 2 bags that contained their possessions. Mickey's family vacation had become chaotic, and they were unable to leave the location. Mickey had to take his family to the woods to hide. Meanwhile, the troops were unaware that Mickey had escaped, and it took them an hour to discover this. Meanwhile, Mickey and his family had gone deep into the woods. Fortunately, Mickey found somewhere to rest and hide. Later, he hid the 2 bags of inheritance in a safe location. On the other hand, the soldiers planned to locate Mickey and hold a meeting. They allocated tasks for the pursuit through the woods. The majority of the soldiers were young but were well trained and experienced. Unexpectedly, Mickey reappeared and witnessed the meeting. Suddenly, their boss, a man named Kane, threatened one of the soldiers for not obeying orders. Initially, the other soldiers assumed Kane was joking and found it humorous. When their laughter stopped, a soldier named Franco stabbed the person Kane had threatened to kill. This stunned the soldiers, and they stopped finding Kane's acts humorous. After that, no one dared to defy Kane, fearing that Franco would murder him. Mickey hurriedly returned to his family and explained that they couldn't go home yet. He couldn't let the military win, so he had to fight back. Mickey then decided to confront the soldiers individually. While the remaining soldiers explored the woods, they spread out to cover more land and attempted to restrict Mickey's movement. They were attempting to trap him and restrict his freedom of movement. Mickey once confronted a soldier with extraordinary camouflage skills, but he quickly dispatched him. Mickey then picked up a communication radio and answered Kane's remarks. He stated there were only 10 individuals remaining and that he would eliminate them soon. Meanwhile, Jack decided to follow his father, despite having little gun experience. Sophie attempted to stop Jack, but fortunately Mickey reappeared, and Jack abandoned his plans. As night fell, Mickey let his family rest. They couldn't shake their concern and anxiety about Mickey, who had returned to the woods to hunt. Jack ultimately made the decision to accompany his father due to Jane's persistent worries about him. Meanwhile, Mickey moved with the stealth of an assassin, and Sophie was unable to hold Jack back any longer. Jack feared for his father's safety. That night, Mickey defeated another soldier. The following day, Kane's squad discovered their comrade's body. The number 9, carved on the corpse's chest, alarmed Kane and his colleagues, indicating that only 9 of them remaining. Kane directed his squad to become even more attentive in their search of Mickey. Jack continued his journey through the jungle without seeing Mickey, while Mickey washed his face in a small river. At that moment, memories of a horrific incident from his time in Afghanistan flooded back. He recalled how one of his fellow troops had cruelly murdered innocent citizens, leaving just a woman and her daughter. When Mickey attempted to intercede and save the woman, his teammate viewed him as a traitor. This unsettling experience had made Mickey understand that even people were capable of extreme cruelty. He carried the sorrow of failing to defend that woman with him throughout his life. Kane and Franco, 2 of his former colleagues from that time, were now chasing him down with the intent of stealing his family's valuables. Mickey, enraged and seeking vengeance, managed to eliminate one of Kane's men once more. Shortly after, another soldier arrived, and Mickey used the one he'd ambushed as protection. He continued to escape bullets, taking cover behind many trees before successfully ambushing the soldier from behind. Surprisingly, when Mickey saw a female soldier, he chose not to employ firearms, despite the woman's formidable build. They had a lengthy hand-to-hand struggle, but Mickey eventually defeated her by shoving her into a tree trunk. When Kane and his crew arrived at the scene, they found the deceased female soldier. They rapidly recognized they were against an outstanding opponent. Mickey once again marked the dead soldier with the number 7, indicating that Kane's group still had 7 members. After some time, Kane and his men resumed their quest and came close to finding Jack. Thankfully, Mickey came to the rescue, instructing Jack to distract one of the soldiers while he dealt with another soldier patrolling the lake. The soldier was unaware of Mickey's presence in the water. When the timing was right, Mickey launched a surprise attack. They had another fierce fight, but Mickey was able to get a pistol from the lake's bottom and shoot the soldier. After that, Mickey gathered various weapons and began looking for Jack. Meanwhile, Sophie and Jane became concerned since Mickey and Jack had not returned. Regrettably, a trooper trapped Jack. Stan and Franco captured Sophie and Jane and took them to Noah's house. Mickey managed to rescue Jack, only to uncover the kidnapping of Sophie and Jane. To make matters worse, Kane intended to harm Sophie and Jane. Mickey was enraged, and he immediately dealt with the soldier who had attacked Jack before going to Noah's residence. Meanwhile, Stan first opposed Kane's plan to injure Jane and Sophie, but Kane became enraged and shot him. A short while later, Mickey radioed his arrival and cautioned Kane not to act hastily. However, Kane and Franco disregarded Mickey's warning, which further infuriated Mickey. He began rushing toward Noah's house and quickly dispatched 2 more of Kane's men. Mickey eventually reached Noah's residence. Kane was shocked and perplexed by Mickey's lightning-fast movements. After that, Kane and Franco took Sophie and Jane outside as captives. Mickey began haggling, promising to divulge where he'd hidden the treasure bags. However, Kane insisted on releasing only one person before Mickey turned over the luggage. Mickey had no option but to make a painful decision. He elected to let Sophie go, leaving Jane in Kane's custody. Despite the circumstances, Mickey maintained his composure and directed Sophie to return to their original hiding place, where Jack was waiting. Once Sophie departed, Kane instructed Franco to trail Mickey to the location of the heirloom bags. As they traveled into the woodland, Franco started to tease Mickey. Meanwhile, Kane took Jane back into the home and continued to abuse her. Finally, Mickey and Franco arrived at the place, and Mickey instantly revealed the hidden treasure bags. But as Franco relaxed his guard, Mickey fought back aggressively. Mickey's anger escalated due to the abuse he had endured from Franco during their time in Afghanistan. At the same moment, Jane hesitantly accepted Kane's approaches and began sitting on his lap. Meanwhile, Mickey and Franco engaged in a violent brawl, but in just 2 seconds, Mickey turned the tables. Mickey's inherent knowledge and combat talents helped him vanquish his former comrade. Mickey swiftly overcame Franco, and the battle concluded with Mickey repeatedly stamping on Franco's face until his death. Meanwhile, Jane had outwitted Kane and escaped. Kane pursued her and eventually caught her. Mickey had arrived by then, and he had to deal with the situation in order to keep Jane safe. However, Kane was already filled with anger due to Jane's deception and Mickey's murder of Franco. Kane struck Jane, inciting Mickey's anger. Finally, Mickey and Kane fought fiercely. Kane was younger and stronger than Mickey, so Mickey struggled at first. Kane almost murdered him, but Mickey had to give up when he spotted Kane holding a gun and going to shoot him. Fortunately, Sophie was able to shoot Kane in the chest from behind before he could shoot Mickey. Mickey soon finished off Kane, ensuring his death. Jane awoke soon after, shocked for a moment. Following these incidents, Mickey properly buried Noah. Mickey expressed gratitude for his uninjured reunion with his family, as well as the safety and intactness of the family's inheritance and valuables. And that's how the film finishes. Thank you for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.